Hello, 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 my friends. Good morning. Welcome to Wow Wednesday. I am Nancy Matthews, one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network. And if it's Wednesday, it must be time for some wow. And today I am so excited to bring on Dr. Heather Tucker, and we're going to be talking about 7 secrets to attracting more clients and a whole bunch more in your life, in every area of your life. Before we kick off, a couple of quick Women's Prosperity Network announcements. First of all, next Tuesday, the 17th, we have Networking with a Twist. So be sure and join us for that. You get the opportunity to connect inside of breakout sessions with 3 different groups. So you'll come away with not just new contacts, but true connections. And that's why we call it Networking with a Twist. So you can go to womensprosperityNetwork.com and find out all about that. Also, Saturday, May 28th is our monthly mastermind workshop experience that we call Brilliance, Brainstorming, and Breakthroughs. And what we're going to be doing at that mastermind is just taking a look at this, halfway point. We're into May, and it's like, oh my gosh, where'd the year go, right? It goes by so quickly. So we're going to just take a moment to pause, reflect, reconnect with your goals and your visions and intentions for what you really want to bring into your life this year. So you can get information on that also at womensprosperityNetwork.com. And now I'm going to bring on Dr. Heather. As always with Wednesday, we'll go for about 30 minutes of conversation and interview with our guest, and then we open up for question and answer. So if you have a question, an insight, an aha that you'd like to share, we'll go ahead and open up. You can share your questions in the chat if you're with us on Zoom, or on the comments on Facebook if you're watching through that platform. So without any further delay, let me tell you about Dr. Heather Tucker. She is the founder and CEO of Another Level Living. Love that. It's the only professional training and coaching company that produces deep, powerful transformation for entrepreneurs worldwide who want to overcome great fear and stand fully in their power, unshakable, so that they can master communication and relationships in both business and life with ease and grace. Oh yeah, who doesn't want more of that? Count me in. She guides her clients in achieving total success and victory by using easy strategies that support them in working smarter, stressing less, increasing energy, and expanding their capacity to receive abundance. Here's something kind of cool. She also certifies life coaches and communication mind experts and has certified over 400 life coaches to date. And this is just the beginning for her. This has led to her creating a community called the Aloha Mastermind, an Ohana family, which is family for coaches and practitioners. Her primary areas of expertise include business building, authentic leadership, relationship restoration, healing trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder, and all kinds of things. So welcome, Dr. Heather.
Oh, thank you so much, Nancy. I'm really happy to be here with you ladies today.
It is, you have so many things. And, when we were talking about you being a guest on the show, it's like, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this. And then we dialed in, what do our community, what does our audience really want right now? More clients, have a greater impact, and skyrocket their businesses. So I'm grateful we settled in on these 7 secrets. And I'm going to ask you to just jump right in, my friend.
Okay, absolutely. Well, ladies, it really is about reclaiming the power of, I'm going to talk about mindset today. This is actually Mental Health Awareness Month. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And a lot of times we can become even overwhelmed in our mind, or there can be so many complications there. And our greatest wealth is our peace of mind, body, and soul. See, when we reclaim the power of our mind, we literally become unstoppable. And I want to be able to share with you 7 secrets on how to be able to do that. What led to this is because what we think and what we feel is what we do. And also what we believe and our core values are how we operate. So I want you to write out the word mindset. right? And I'm going to share with you what it means. Now, please forgive me because there's going to be a couple of definitions for two of these. I couldn't like separate it. So just it's a little bit extra than 7.
Hey, get out your notebook. Get out your notebook. I'm on it right now. Mindset. Okay, go.
Yes. Okay. And the first one stands for mindset matters. Okay. Mindsets matters. For example, how do we feel about money? How do we feel about time? How do we feel about our emotions? You know, what are our money beliefs? What are our money memories? How we treat money or we think about money is sometimes how it treats us. And a lot of times we can actually self-sabotage and prevent our prosperity of receiving because maybe we have beliefs that don't really serve us well. Mm-hmm. And so when we actually take control of what are our beliefs, what you can even write them down. You know, what do I believe about money? What do I believe about time? You know, write those down. And then I say, burn that list and then make a new list of what do I want to believe about money? What do I want to believe about time? What do I want to believe about my emotions? See, a lot of times we talk about mental health and the mind is just, people think the mental, but it's mental and emotional wellness. It works together. When we actually understand how our mind works, we can even be able to better understand and see people at a deeper level of how their mind works. Every mind is beautiful. Every mind is unique. And in this, you can be able to, the second thing that M stands for is meet people where they are. You know, a lot of times we think that people will believe the same things that we do. People will connect the same way to material or information. But if they don't, if there's a lot of stuff in their mind that's preventing them from, for example, as coaches, we can give them like templates. We can give them things to fill out, things to do. But then sometimes they may not even be able to do it because there's so much other clutter in the way.
Really
so that was the first one.
Yeah, so let's pause on that for a moment because mindset covers so many pieces, and let's dive into this piece about, you know, what is your mind thinking about other people that are potential clients? Like, are you prejudging? They don't have the money to pay me. They're not going to, like, that ties into your money beliefs, right? And all, exactly. On all those pieces. And if you want to experience more, it's about focusing on what it is that you do want rather than what you don't want. So can you speak to that a little bit? Because I think when it comes to mindset, when we're filled with worry or doubt or anxiety and stress, it's not easy to shift from, oh no, what if this happens and this isn't good? And like, how do you make that shift for your mindset? So I love that you said, write the list down. What are some other strategies that can help us get recentered and focused?
So one thing I was thinking as you were talking was that how the image that we hold in our mind, even when we're talking to a potential client, or even when we're in a client coaching situation, or we're working with the customer, our mindset has a lot to do with how that will turn out. Like if we have this thing like, oh my gosh, if there's a struggle that, you know, we need to make the sale, right? The energy of gotta make the sale, that can actually prevent it from actually coming into fruition. Yeah. So what do I tell people sometimes before even getting on calls like that? First of all, take some time for you. We have a 3-step motto here at Another Level Living. Lean in, let go, and leap forward. It's so easy to be able to run away from those emotions, but I challenge you to lean into them. What am I feeling? You know, what's going on? Where is this coming from? Also recognizing that, so our mind is 90% unconscious, right, and 10% conscious. So our unconscious mind has a collection of every single experience we've ever seen, heard, or felt. Right? So leaning into that also can be, well, what are some previous past patterns that have happened? How have I felt about this before? See, if we don't really acknowledge and recognize some of those things from our past, then it prevents us from even moving forward.
Right.
or living in the present. So recognizing and highlighting all of these things. And then I recommend people, okay, well, let's let this go. Letting go sometimes is really hard. Sometimes I recommend, you know what, write down all of those things that you feel that you want to be able to let go of. You know, I'm not good enough. Who am I to do this? Are they going to really listen to me? People never listen to me. You know, all the little things in your mind.
And I love that you're sharing this, because many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with the phrase, that which we resist persists. So if you don't acknowledge that the crap is there, you can't move through it. You can't release it. You know, first we have to acknowledge it. I use the analogy sometimes, if, let's say you have a dog and the dog craps on the carpet, right? And then you decide to just cover it up with a towel or something like that. The crap is still there. You need to clean out the crap. And that writing it down is that process of getting it out of you so that you can move on and leap forward. So I love this 3-step process. Lean into it, let go of that stuff, and then leap forward. I love that. Great, great strategy.
Thank you. Yeah, we got to empty out, right? Because those things that we think are small, they can become big mountains unexpectedly out of nowhere. So, and it's interesting. My teacher in Hawaii, he says, you know, it's important to face. Alo is the word for facing in Hawaii. You face everything, because a lot of times it's fear, right? Of, oh my gosh, well, if I face it, then it's just too fearful. It's too big. It's too heavy. And so typically fear can be forget everything and run. But I want you to be able to know that it's possible to change that to facing everything and rising. So therefore you can then feel everything and relax, right? So you change the definition. When we change the way we look at things, everything changes. Yeah. So interesting how that works.
Yeah, it really does. And we can be afraid to acknowledge those thoughts or the challenges with other people and getting it. There's so many pieces here. So my friends that are listening in, mindset is the number one key to everything. And that's why we bring you this Wow Wednesday and all the different ways to keep you staying on the positive side. But sometimes you got to go through the yuck in order to get there. So don't ignore it. Deal with it and move on. Lean in, let go, and leap forward. So I know I took you on a little tangent, and it was
it was beautiful.
Yeah. So all right. So M is for mindset. I
is for imposter syndrome prevents success.
Oh,
imposter syndrome prevents success. Not only does it prevent success, like, okay, so what is imposter syndrome? A lot of times people are like, I don't even know what this is. I feel like I got it, right? There's a difference between how we show up in the world and how the world perceives us. They see our mask, they see our persona versus how we actually feel inside. Right. I remember one of my colleagues years ago, he would say, Heather, you know, there's 3 representations of you: who you are, who you think you are, and who other people think you are. And I'm like, well, you know, it's already for me to even really focus on who other people think I am, because who I am and who I think I am can be complicated. So the goal is to bring it all to one, right? Like being able to overcome those conflicts. It can be those internal conflicts that can actually feed our imposter syndrome. So many things: perceptions of other people, or judgments of other people, or perfectionism. Like, it's got to be perfect, right? No, we just gotta go. We just gotta do it, right? And then eventually it will evolve over time. But that imposter syndrome, that conflict, you know, it can prevent us from actually talking to people. It might even make us see competition like even more. We're here at Women's Prosperity Network. We believe in co-opetition, working together. It's so easy to be able to see other people's successes. Oh, they're doing the success and I may not feel successful. No, when you really know that you've gotten to be like this whole healthy person, is we can be able to celebrate other people's success, recognizing that it's totally unique. You're on your own unique path, and you can embrace your success as well. Yeah. So that conflict, operating in that conflict of who I am and who other people think I am are two different. It can be paralyzing. And I want to challenge you to be able to make that who you are and who other people think you are, and just how you show up as one person. It's like integrating your wholeness. And it's totally possible to do that.
Yeah, totally possible. And it takes some work. It takes some admitting of what I think other people think of me and all that other stuff, and really grounding in, who you are, why you are, right? And, just what you're bringing and the unique value that you offer everyone, which each and every one of you does.
And I'm smiling because guess what? It's the same process, right? It's the same 3-step process. Lean in, let go, leap forward. So that imposter syndrome a lot of times can be the conflicts of who other people think you are. Like, for example, maybe you have family and friends and they're like, what the heck are you doing? Like, just go get a job already. Like, I don't understand what you're doing. This makes no sense, right? And it could become this self-defeating prophecy, which actually amplifies that imposter syndrome. Like, am I doing the right thing? Well, what I tell people is that, first of all, leaning in and understanding even their mindset, like our family and our friends, they want the best for us, but they weren't given the vision that you were. The vision is for you. So when you own that and you recognize, what, there's the calling that I have on my life. It was given uniquely for me. There's going to be many people around me that just don't understand what I'm doing. And instead of being fearful of that or living in that conflict, recognize, hey, this is totally okay. You are on your own unique path. And so are they. Mm-hmm. It's so freeing. Like one of the quotes that we just posted was, there's a freeing and a power in being able to let go of other people's expectations, let go of even the expectations that you might have on yourself. I can't tell you how many times I hear this, Nancy. Oh my gosh. Dr. Heather, this business should have been successful by now. This relationship should have already been healed. My family should have already been whole. Like, all of these things should have happened. But one of the things that can help with this, my sister had told me one time, she said, Heather, it's so important to create peace where you are. That's where it's like, instead of focusing on what's going wrong or what's not happening, embrace and be grateful for what is happening.
Right. Yeah. So good. So good. And for me personally, that's why I have a daily practice of what do I want? Focus, dealing with what didn't work so that I can correct it the next day. Like, all of this that Heather's bringing us today is not about a one and done. This is a daily thing for us to focus on and bring into our lives and build our muscles around. So good stuff. All right. So mindset, imposter syndrome, and really coming into oneness with who you are and why you are. Next.
N stands for, and this actually leads in really nice, never stop rising. Never stop rising, raising your vibration and your energy. So therefore you become unstoppable. You're right. It's a journey, right? The day that we plant the seed is not going to be the day that we experience the harvest. And a lot of times people want to see and get to the destination, right? They're like the hare. And I love being the turtle because you can enjoy the journey. The journey is where the growth and the transformation comes. So these battles and these obstacles that we might have, whether they're internal battles or external conflicts, still recognize, I can still rise. Oh, count it all joy that this is happening. That means that there's some amazingness on the other side. It's about shifting how we see it. And also recognizing that you are the captain of your ship. You're the master of your fate. A lot of times we can get blown away by what's happening, which leads into N. Can I, or D? Can I actually share D now?
Yeah, go for it. Keep on bringing it, girl.
D stands for distractions can destroy achievement. Distractions can destroy achievement. So it's easy for us to be blown away by all the things that are happening. Recognize this is for all of you who sometimes may feel like, oh my gosh, there's so many things. There's a lot of overwhelm. One of the best things that I learned years ago about my mind is that I can only process like this little, like could be all this information coming in, and I can only process like this little bit. So we got 2 billion bits per second of information coming into our mind. We delete, we distort, we generalize some of it. We can only process 128 bits. So one of the things I love to check in is, okay, is this a distraction? Is this taking me away from my goal, or is it bringing me towards my goal? right? Is this something that I can be able to put that energy in, or is this something that's going to actually make me more or paralyzed or procrastinate? So we want to be cognizant of that.
Yeah.
I'll stop there because it just gets better.
And I think this is where the importance of having a coach and a mastermind community where you can be honest with what's coming up helps you sift and sort some of those things, because there are so many opportunities that could be, directed towards moving your vision forward and your goals, but they could also be distractions, and making that discernment between, often in my experience, having someone else to bounce your ideas off of makes a huge, huge difference. And that's one of the things that we do here at Women's Prosperity Network, what you do in your communities, in coaching, like all the coaches that you've certified and you bring into this world in a new way. That's part of our job, is to have that listening space, holding our client's vision to move forward, right?
Right. It's so true. I tell every class that I teach, and some hear me and some are like, okay, yeah, I can do this on my own. Right. And one of the things that I love that you mentioned in your book, how's that working so far? Right. So what happens is I tell them, in order to be a successful coach, there's a difference between, just playing with this industry versus really thriving and rising in it. You need to be coached. You need to have support. There's things that you can't see. There's natural blind spots that we all have, that the squirrels, right? So a coach can help us control our squirrels, hone in, recognize the bigger picture. I mean, it's so beautiful. This power of coaching, which we got a nice book coming out on, which I'm excited about.
Isn't that the name of the book?
The Power of Coaching. Yep, absolutely. Inspirational stories for life transformations and business growth, isn't it? Is the subtitle.
It's great, and I'm honored to be a part of it. We'll tell you more about that later, but let's go to the letter S.
S. Okay, so S stands for so shift your focus is what I put as one of them. Shifting your focus, meaning that a lot of times, like we talk about these sometimes these blocks in our head, like we can have things compartmentalized, right? Okay, this is happening. How can I compartmentalize? And I want to recommend bringing the walls down, right? But then also like owning and honoring those things that are happening, but focus. We want to stay focused. Okay, what can I take care of now? What can I take care of today? What do I need to put in the parking lot? Right? The parking lot, deal with it later, right? Let it come back or write it down. So we can only process so much information. And a lot of times, especially as entrepreneurs, we can get so busy working, and doing. And then we feel like we never get anything done. Sometimes, until you learn the secrets of working smarter, not harder, right? And so shifting your focus allows you to be able to operate in clarity, ease, and flow. The second thing that S stands for is share your soul with the world. Share your soul with the world, meaning your authentic self. Bring all that you can. A lot of times, if we have our limiting beliefs, like I'm not good enough, we'll have this like limited sharing with the world. You have amazing stories. There's so much wisdom inside that needs to be shared. Like right now, not like 10 years from now, but right now. And we got to be able to overcome and break free from any chain that is preventing us from being able to share our story with the world.
I'm inspired. How about you, my friends? If you're inspired, give me a comment in the chat or right, or on Facebook, wherever you are, because this energy is what will keep us moving forward today, tomorrow, the next day. And the stuff is going to come up. Like, let's face it. There's stuff that comes up, and pretending it's not going to come up is not the answer. Having tools so you can shift, get in your mindset in place, never stop rising. I mean, this is so good, my friend. All right, bring it on. We're going to open up for questions in a little bit. We got 2 more pieces of this 7 secrets process to share. So
yes,
I'm leaning.
Okay. E stands for emotional intelligence is your superpower. Emotional intelligence has a lot to do with, we can't control the things that are happening, but we can control how we respond. And our greatest power is in our response. Yes, things are going to come up. How we respond is what makes all the difference. Not only that, we can be able to operate in this place of congruency, operate in this place of clarity, operate in this place of stability when we actually amplify and elevate our emotional intelligence.
And let me tag on to
ahead.
that, because when I think of somebody who's a great leader or a great business owner, what I most admire and respect is how they respond in times of challenge or making a mistake or messing up. Like, what does that look like? And having the emotional intelligence not to break down, but instead break through whatever those challenges are, is one of those pieces of resilience that we admire and we need in business and in life.
And we become bulletproof. Like, and it's interesting, like something can happen. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because it's not this, when we have this, sometimes these overreactions, I tell my clients, celebrate your overreactions, because that means that there's something to work on. Hey, there's something there. Where did this come from? Let's lean into it. Where has it happened before? Is it really about eating the last donut now, or is it about people who have ate the last donut like the previous times before? Right. And what happens in an overreaction, that everything just links up, and then you get blah, and if we don't get it out, if we don't express our emotions, if we don't honor and listen to our emotions, more so listen to ours first before we take on and listen to others, that's what creates some of the overwhelm too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that's why I'm a big practitioner of the Ho'oponopono practice. And I know that you are, plus you have lots of other Aloha Hawaiian teachings that you integrate. And for me, anytime I have a reaction, like a big reaction that feels low energy to something, if I get mad, upset, I look at, okay, what is this triggering in me? Because people are just being people, and they're always going to be people. Which, how do I become, instead of reactionary, how do I become responsible, able to respond the way that will bring about my desired result or outcome, right? So that's where emotional intelligence really comes into play in mastering your life, right?
Yeah. And I love that you pretty much hit it on the head, because our relationships are a reflection of what's going on with us. It's like, if we're triggered by something that's happening externally, it's almost like if you spot it, you got it. Where is it within me?
Ooh,
what is it that I need to be able to let go?
I never heard that before.
Yeah.
I like it. So if you
everything,
that means you got it.
Yeah. Like, there was, so basically, so someone said one time, one of the reasons that prevents this fear of moving forward, people might be fear of how other people are going to respond. Right. And this lady had said one time, she was scared of speaking on stages because she was concerned about how people were going to perceive her. And then she adopted this belief that, if you see me and you love me, then that's okay. If you see me and you hate me, then that's okay too. Just know that whatever you see is a reflection of what you are. And I was like, oh, that's good. So people are going to love you. People are going to hate you. It don't matter. Do you, boo-boo?
So good. All right. Bring us home.
Last one.
Letter T.
T. Oh, this one's my favorite. So listen, this one is so good. Now it's time to unleash your greatness and shine. For everyone who's listening, time to unleash your greatness and shine. If not now, then when? If not you, then who? One of the things I usually hear after people have overcome all of the little battles and then they're actually living their calling, I wish I would have done this sooner. I wish I would have been out there sooner. Well, do it now. Mm-hmm. Do it now, because you know what? Tomorrow is not promised. And what we leave behind is our legacy. My desire, especially after seeing all these losses and doing a lot of grief work over the last couple of years, really being able to know that, you know what, from this point until I leave this earth, I will be sharing the message, doing my business, doing my calling as much as I can, coming from a place of aloha. Because you know what? What's important is what I leave behind. The richest place in the world is the graveyard. And the funny thing is that people think that they have time. And the time is today.
Yeah, the time is now. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, my friend. We're going to open up for questions in just a moment. And I know that you have a gift for us about using our story to attract more clients. Can you describe that?
Yes.
And then I'll put them in the chat.
Absolutely. So one of the things that our hero's journey, the things that we've gone through, the things that we grow through, sometimes they can be like, we may look at them like, oh my gosh, why has all this stuff happened? Right? Why has all of this have happened? And one of the things, or to me, but the reality is not, it's happened for you. Even this good, bad, and ugly has happened for you, but also for all the people that you're called to serve. So I want to share with you this free class and guide on how to be able to use your story to attract more clients and change more lives. Because your hero's journey, the things that you've overcome is the connection, connection piece. So enjoy that gift. I think Nancy's going to put it in the chat. It's anotherlevelliving.com/story impact gift. It has a nice little download and guide. It also has a link there if you want to be able to connect and chat with me. I'd be happy to be able to do that. And the last thing I want to share is, what do you do when some of the stories are too difficult to share? One of the reasons why I talk about post-traumatic stress and trauma and stuff like that is because if we don't heal what hurt us, we can bleed all over the people that may not deserve it. And we may become fearful in our story. So here at Another Level Living, we talk about bringing your baggage. Let's go ahead and heal it, make it light. So therefore we can be able to share our story from a place of empowerment and strength for people to be able to really connect to see our heart, to see our space. Hence is the reason why we do one of our trainings, Communication Mind Mastery, and our NLP practitioner. When we can it's totally possible to heal the past, to live in the present, to have a bigger vision for the future, and also to show other people that it's possible to do that same thing.
Right. That's right. Beautiful. And I know you have a class coming up soon. And NLP stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. I'm also a master practitioner of this, and I know you offer training and certification in this. It's been one of the most powerful tools for me in my personal life, as well as in my practice and serving my clients to help them clear out that stuff and shift some really long-standing beliefs that they don't even realize are keeping them trapped. And I think that's part of it. Sometimes we get into these, may have repetitive patterns of letdown or, not reaching success or similar relationships. I had the same boyfriend and 3 different men. It was the same human, right? What was going on there? What was my belief system about who I deserved in that? And really getting into what's going on, that's really running the show, is where NLP comes into play. So tell us about the class that you have coming up. And then if you could drop the link in the chat, that would be awesome as well.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so the Communication Mind Mastery NLP practitioner training is all about becoming a mind expert and really being able to break free from your mind, body, soul, anything that's preventing you from total success, but also having tools and strategies to show other people how to do the same. There's processes on resolving internal conflicts. Have you ever said, my heart feels this way, my mind feels this way, or part of me feels this way, part of me feels the other? That is a definite indication that, we can be able to have a nice 10-minute process that brings that wholeness. Our greatest wealth is our peace of mind, body, and soul, because it is the operating unit of how we operate, how we behave, and understanding how your mind works, but also showing other people how to create wholeness in their mind. And so this literally was the game changer. I consider it professional and personal development on steroids. Because it
Agreed.
literally was the game changer in coaching. That's why I'm able to facilitate deep level, fast lasting changes with clients, helping them reprogram and break free from the patterns and the limiting beliefs and adopt more powerful ones. It's so possible because when we change the way that we look, that we see, and that we hear things, the things that we look, hear, and see change. And then we can understand how our mind works, how we take in information, and how we can also, better communicate. If you are motivated by this conversation, you can be able to make a difference with people just by your presence alone and the language that you use. Now, I will say there's only 10 spots left in this class. This is the last class of the year. So I'll drop the link in the chat, and you're going to make sure that you want to fill out the information below. So therefore you can get more information about it, and definitely consider joining us on this class.
And so two great opportunities for you to continue in this essence with Dr. Heather. The first is her free gift, which you can get at anotherlevelliving.com/story impact gift. anotherlevelliving.com/story impact gift. And then to join her training that she has coming up for the NLP certification, you go to anotherlevelliving.com/communication mastery cert, CERT. So lots of good stuff going on here. Let me go ahead and start opening up. I see Manuela has her hand up. So hello, Manuela, and then I'll take Philomena, and I see another person. I don't know who that is yet.
Okay.
Good morning. Good morning. As I wrote in the chat to you both, Dr. Heather, this has been eye-opening, phenomenal. I can't wait to listen to this over and over again because I felt like I was drinking from a fire hose. I wanted to find out, are you still in Hawaii, or are you in the US and just live by Hawaii guides?
Oh, thank you so much, Manuela. I really appreciate your comments and your feedback. I actually go to Hawaii quite a bit. I consider where I am the Hawaii of the East. I'm on the eastern shore of Virginia, and there's a bay on one side and there's an ocean on the other, and we're only connected to Virginia and Maryland by a bridge. So we're technically like a little island. But the one thing about why I go to Hawaii so much is because, a lot of times we get caught up in the doing, right? We can get so busy. And one of the things I share is, we never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it's possible to create peace on all sides. So, how to be able to get back to the core of who we are. This is where a lot of, for example, the Ho'oponopono process that Nancy mentioned earlier. I'm certified in she does the prayer. I'm certified in the process. That healing of forgiveness is so very powerful. When I walk people through that, they're able to see all the positive things about what they have let go of. It's all about energy, the energy that we are, the energy that we carry, and connecting with nature, the earth, the air, the water, the fire, really being able to heal. And so I go there to slow down. And it's funny, when I was there in September, I got the message, okay, Heather, slow down some more. And I'm like, I thought I had slowed down. And then I got the message again, okay, it's time to slow down anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay, I enjoy being the turtle now. See, because if we continue to operate in this busyness and this overwhelm, it will deplete us. It will deplete us from the things that we are already called to receive. And for me, one thing I didn't share with some of you on here may know, but I'm married to a Purple Heart Marine Corps veteran. He did 2 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan and came back with post-traumatic stress. And oftentimes I love him and want to strangle him. Okay one moment and then not the next. And then we got 2 kids, right? So they feel all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? let me go ahead and recognize how to be able to be the best emotional GPS of my family and of my business and create that business in life harmony. So I go out there, I fill my cup up, and I come back here and I'm able to pour it out with ease and give from my overflow. And I'm never
wonderful.
Isn't that beautiful?
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. As a Navy wife and Navy daughter, I send you my love as a military spouse. And the Hawaiian philosophies I saw take a tremendous effect when our son-in-law, who is an Army medic, was stationed in Hawaii. And my daughter, who had a stroke when she was 15, learned how to become a mermaid and learn to slow down. And it really helped her with her right side residual weakness and her whole mindset. And she too goes back on a regular basis and sees friends in Hawaii. So thank you for your service, your husband's service especially. Are you in Virginia because he's still in the military?
Oh, he's out. He's a Purple Heart. He was injured in combat. Right. I did a lot of stuff. I actually just wrote a book chapter called Married to the Military because my actual background was in civilian. And then I was like, for those of you who may not know, we got about 25 veterans per day committing suicide. He just had another one of his fellow younger Marines commit suicide just 2 days ago. Wow. And the reality is sometimes there's so much hope and loss. And it's possible. One of the messages I got when I was home in Hawaii before was, Heather, it's important to be calm and be the peace in the midst of the chaos. And eventually that creates the calm around. So because of just being that change that we wish to see, then I see all these changes around, and there's limited tornadoes. There's all like Malia. It's all calm now because I became calm. Now, if my emotions, that's why I said emotions are your superpower. If I was operating in old Heather, oh my gosh, I want to strangle you, blah, 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 right? That energy does not help a situation. So it's possible to be able to diffuse and be calm. And I really appreciate it. Thank you for your service as well. And thank you for being here today.
Thank you. And also, if you would keep, I don't know if am I being heard? Yes. If you would keep our son-in-law in prayer, because he was sent, even though he was a reservist, he was sent to Afghanistan, and the explosion that happened and killed so many was on his birthday. So we're looking at that anniversary coming up, and I know parents who've lost their children have as well, and he has lost some friends after he got back. So his name is Jake.
I was just about to ask you, what's his name? Thank you.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Manuela, for sharing and for all of your service and holding this space, being in this space of drinking in so that you can be of service to all those around you, right? That's what this is really about with the mindset and the emotional intelligence. Heather, when you were talking a few minutes ago, I thought of it like this, like whatever energy we bring to a scenario, if there's chaos happening and crisis and things going on, and I show in as a blaring heavy metal rock and roll, so loud, is that going to help what's going on? As opposed to what am I bringing into the situation to help, change the vibration to more peace and so beautiful. And it takes time. And that's where we all have the opportunity to positively impact. And I think that's the goal, right? Of all of this work is how can I be a positive impact and influence in all of my spheres, my family, my community, my business, the clients I touch. That's really what all this is about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
That's one of the reasons why I said those battles that we think can sometimes carry us down. Sometimes they can actually be the biggest blessing to be able to rise us up, even though they may not be great as we go through them. But on the other side, it's not just for us, it's also for the people that we're called to serve.
Yeah, absolutely. So good. Again, be sure to go to anotherlevelliving.com/story impact gift and get Dr. Heather's free gift. And once you do that, you'll also see how you can reach out to her directly. The second is her upcoming certification, which for NLP practitioner, anotherlevelliving.com/communication mastery cert. And I see we've got some more people in queue. So let me next go to Philomena, then Laura, then Olivia. So Philomena.
Good morning. Well, I'm so happy to be able to be here today because it's been a few months and I wasn't expected to even be here today because I was going to be helping my daughter move in Maine, and her my grandchildren got COVID. So I am in a sort of a forced little sabbatical here. Anyway, I resonate so much with whatever you're saying, Heather, Dr. Heather, and thank you very much for being with somebody and caring for someone with PTSD so humbly. I too have had a brother who experienced PTSD in 2015. And as a veteran Marine, he decided his last day on Earth was March 15th. And in 2015. And I know based on all the healing of trauma that I've been able to be blessed with from working with psychologists for 4 years as his business manager, that this creates such stress on the whole beings around them that if they don't have the proper mindset, then they can't respond to whatever that person is dealing with. I was fortunate enough to be able to help show other people how to what I call a balaha moment. The aha moment was that you can still be amazingly loving and happy anyway, even when this mental health issue raises its ugly head. And the never stop rising is critical. And I love all of your acronyms. Of course, I love acronyms, period. I resonate with you so deeply. I would love to be able to contact you to interview for my Empower Hour series. And M is also for Mind Power Mastery. So I will contact you at your anotherlevelliving.com and we'll talk.
Yeah, Philomena. Yeah, I just want to say thank you for sharing. And it's clearly no coincidence that today was when you were able to join us.
No, and it was a very difficult call because I wasn't sure. I couldn't get in, and I kept trying, and some reason the numbers were not aligning so that my ID number wasn't going in.
But you persisted.
And I said, no, that's exactly right. I know I'm supposed to be here today. I have so much on the agenda, but I'm supposed to be here right now with Dr. Heather and everyone else on this call who is really understanding that discernment is key. Your spiritual discernment is a mindset, always moving forward to that. Feelings, thoughts, and deeds, FTD.
Yeah. Thank you
so much for sharing.
My pleasure.
You know, my deepest condolences for the loss of your brother, your beloved brother. And, you know, my heart is with you. And, you know,
he has shown himself as the angel he is, because I was about to sign for this contract, the lease on this 1,800 square foot beautiful studio that I found while I was out trying to make two copies of a document. And I said, Sam, if I'm supposed to be getting the signature, my signature done, please give me a sign. I was on the telephone with my virtual assistant, Maritza, reminded me that I was on the phone with her. When I looked up at a red light, it's great to stop at red lights, the car diagonal from me was, and I get my signs a lot of times after a query by seeing vanity plates, ANGLSAM, clearly was him. And I said, oh my God, Maritza, I had to take a picture.
Wow.
Because it was such evidence that no matter how long I have been connected to the source, I'm still amazed at how it comes through. It's just everywhere.
Delight in it, right? Yeah, source likes to delight in amazing us. So let's show amazement and appreciation when it happens. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, it
You
elevates
reminded
me. It
me
does.
that, your love can heal all things.
Yeah.
Your love really can
Absolutely.
heal all things. And
The-
just keep looking for the signs. You don't even have to look for them. They'll show up just like you showing
Oh,
up today. So I look forward to connecting with you.
Awesome. Thank
yes,
you.
thank you.
All
Thank you.
right.
Ciao for now.
Ciao for now. Sending you love.
Okay.
All right, Laura Barker and then Olivia. And just once again, want to remind you, anotherlevelliving.com/story impact gift, all one word. And then for her upcoming communication mind mastery class and certification, anotherlevelliving.com/ what is that? Oh, communication mastery cert.
And Nancy, just before we get her, one of the things I just wanted to share was if any of you are dealing with people with mental or emotional issues, the number one way I was able to be congruent is also pay attention to my mindset, my heart space. So like being the lead Petri cell or lead heartbeat in the Petri dish, having my mind even more stronger than and more resilient and more aware. Like that's that part about never stop rising that we were talking about. Okay, let me hear from Laura. Hi.
Hi, good morning. Oh my gosh. I hope everybody's been paying close attention because there were so many nuggets of wisdom that you dropped, starting with the importance of mindset. We get what we expect, not what we want. We think we're saying what we want, but we really get what our expectations are. And so understanding that mindset is so important. And emotion as a superpower, right? It is the superpower. When we can be in control of our emotions, we're in control of our lives.
That's right.
And it impacts everyone around us. You talk about your children and being that lead, right? The lead of calm, the lead of understanding that you have the ability to control your destiny and demonstrating that to them, day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. Wow, just incredible. And I can't wait to get the free gift, your story. So storytelling, from a marketing perspective, people remember the stories. People remember how you make them feel, right? It is so important, not just in business, but in life to kind of understand that. So I can't wait to dive into that. And I can't wait to learn more about the NLP CERT training. So I've already sent my information in because the words if we're going to tell a good story, the words we use absolutely matter, right?
That's
and
right.
Understanding how people respond to words and stories is just going to improve our lives, their lives in so many ways. So I just want to thank you for bringing this to us. Of course, thank Nancy for bringing you to us. And, you never disappoint with your guests, Nancy.
I have a beautiful well to choose from. I am abundant.
Right? Absolutely. And Dr. Heather, you are just such a light in the world. So just thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate you. I look forward to further connecting with you as well. And thanks for being here today with us and sharing those big takeaways.
Yeah, that was so good. So good. And but right before I bring on our next caller, Olivia, Leah Loney put in Facebook, "This is the most inspiring interview I have seen to date. Thank you. I love you both, and very important messages to us all. Your hearts spoke to my heart." That's you, baby. Yeah, so good. All right, Olivia Jones, and then we'll probably be wrapping up. So good morning, Olivia.
Good morning, ladies. Thank you so much, Dr. Tucker. This was, again, yes, just beautiful. Everything you said resonated. And I specifically have a question regarding leaning in, letting go, and leaning forward, and being able to strategically do that. because oftentimes I can get excited. I'm ready to roll. I'm moving forward. Like I was like, oh, you're moving the needle forward. I'm moving the needle forward. And then all of a sudden something happens and it's, and I go back to my comfort zone.
Well, we can relate. We all
So I guess my question would be, what is you strategically use to lean in, to let go, lean in, move forward? And then I know this might be a lot, processing, like I love taking in them. I feel like my mind, I have a whole bunch of information and a confused mind does nothing. And then you talked about the fact that like that little minuscule amount of information that we actually are able to absorb and then applying that. So I don't know. I think I got my question out.
Okay. I think I got them. I think definitely will try to hold on to the first one. So
okay.
That part the first one you were talking about, leaning in, letting go, leaping forward. All right. If you would have asked me when I was working for the Army, maybe like 10 years ago, like, how was my childhood? How was growing up? I would be like, oh, great. Right. So then, of course, everything gets lit up when we're on this road of entrepreneurship. Everything. Again, our business is an extension of us. So it was like, oh my gosh, I got to figure out why was my mind so crazy? Why was it so conflicted? Why did I feel like, I get overwhelmed easily. I had so much anxiety, right? Even being around people or anything like that. And so I got into really being able to unravel and look at the patterns from before. Where are the past events? So a lot of times we like to shut the chapter on the past, right? And then just kind of move forward and live in the future. Some people live so much in the past that they don't get a chance to be present, or it's difficult for them to be present. Some people live so much in the future that it's difficult for them to be present. I was a big person of ignoring the past, so therefore I can just focus on the future, and I still was never present. So that part about leaning in, really it's about going back and unraveling the patterns, sitting with yourself, sitting with your higher spirit, sitting with God or the universe, whatever you believe, and just saying, show me, where these patterns came from. Show me, light up. I love talking about lighting up all of the emotion that I felt, or all of the anger or I love talking about emotions, and especially negative emotions. Where do I feel all this anger in my body, and then that part about letting go is so hard for people because it's so easy to be able to hold on to this. Who am I without my baggage? Who am I without this?
Good one. Who am I without my baggage?
And the reality is, you're so much more. Whoever you think you are, you're so much more than that. And when we let that part go, sometimes you can imagine even giving it to God, or I shared with you an example of writing it down. Even better, having an awesome coach to help facilitate the process is ideal, and then that will allow you to be able to leap forward and recognize too, we can be harder on ourselves more than anyone. No matter how difficult other people may perceive us, our mind, our heart could be you could have the self-defeating prophecy of yourself. And when an obstacle comes now, whereas I used to feel like, oh my gosh, I just want to give up or throw in the towel so easily, right? Well, now I'm like, oh man, I'm counting it all joy. I'm counting the obstacles all joy that come up, because that just means that there's something bigger on the other side. And if I can be able to get clear on what's going on and breaking through and continuing to move, but first I got to be, right? I got to be able to see what's going on. Let me be. It's from our being. Maybe it might be that your body needs rest. Sometimes, my mom would always say, if you have a difficulty or something's going on, just sleep on it. Everything looks different in the morning. Our natural reaction of something coming up is that we want to dive deeper or we want to go further. We want to go harder, when it's actually sometimes the opposite.
To rest and pay attention. So sound advice. Olivia, was that helpful?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Definitely
Thank you.
want to connect with Dr. Heather for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh gosh. All right. We're at the top of the hour. Dr. Roz, can you bring us home in 60 seconds?
Yes. First of all, once again, loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished. And thank you for the patterns, which are the puzzle pieces of our life, the re-isms, the being able to reset. I woke up this morning with adjustments, negotiations, and that it's okay. And the last part of this is the acronym for REST: respect, energy, submitting tenaciously. I yield the mic, but know I always have a voice. I love y'all.
Oh, we love you
We
too,
love
my
you
friend.
too.
Thank you, Dr. Roz. So beautiful. Heather, I love you. And I am so grateful for the gifts that you've given to all of us this morning, that you are one of our chapter leaders at Women's Prosperity Network. You're certified with the One Philosophy on the faculty of the People Skills Academy, and you show up in service in the most extraordinary way. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Nancy. It's been absolutely my honor and pleasure. I love all of you sisters. WPN is my extended family, and I'm so grateful that you have been a huge part of my journey. And I'm grateful for you today as well.
So, all right, my friends, we're going to wrap up today. Be sure to connect with Dr. Heather at anotherlevelliving.com/story impact gift. And as we leave today, remember to get out there and be the one and live aloha. So I say aloha to all of you. Aloha.
Aloha.
Bye, everyone. Have a most
Love you all.
extraordinary day.
Thanks.